97underground.com, Baltimore's pure rock.
Hello, this is Michael Spedden, and thanks for joining us today on the 97underground.com Michael Spedden Interviews channel here on YouTube. There have been many requests from both listeners and guests for us to make available our artist interviews so they can listen again or share with others. You can find us on YouTube at 97underground Michael Spedden. Remember, the Back of the Rack, the Michael Spedden Show, can be heard on 97underground.com every Tuesday from 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern. Not only do I feature artist interviews, I feature songs you forgot you liked, classics that never die, beloved local, regional, up-and-coming, and underground artists. You can listen anytime, anywhere by downloading our free app from 97underground.com. Just do it. And now, today's episode. And songwriter for the band Shockwave in the 1980s and 90s, and was featured on the 97 Underground album The Beast from the East in 1987. We discussed some memories from playing in those days, some other bands he was in, and discussed his current writing and recording projects. His current music and some tracks from Shockwave and other bands can be seen on his YouTube channel at Greg Sinners 4534. Enjoy. You're listening to the Back of the Rack, the Michael Spedden Show here on 97underground.com. We have Greg Sinners in here today. Greg was founder, guitarist, and chief songwriter of the band Shockwave. Shockwave was featured on The Beast of the East, the 97 Underground album that was released in 1987. And Greg has come on today to talk a little bit about those days, the song that he had on their Bad Attitude, and things that he's doing now. So, Greg, welcome. It's good to see you.
Thanks. Good to be back.
So, Greg, I know that Shockwave was a band that you had for a while. You had, a number of personnel changes and everything before you came to the final performing lineup. You performed around Baltimore and also up and down, the East Coast and some other cities doing showcases.
Mm-hmm.
So exactly when did Shockwave come to be, I guess, from the incarnation to the final performing lineup?
Wow. I'm going to say probably around the mid 80s.
Okay.
Yeah. That's when, because it was after Tail Gunner.
Mm-hmm.
And Tail Gunner was around in the early 80s.
Mm-hmm.
So then, and it's worth mentioning, there were two bands in Baltimore with the name Tail Gunner.
Okay.
It was our band, and we spelled it Tail. And then there was another band that spelled it Tale. So there were two different Tail Gunners in Baltimore. They were from West Baltimore. We were from East Baltimore. I didn't know anybody in the band, but I was aware of them because, people from West Baltimore had mentioned their name to me.
Mm-hmm.
So, I became aware of the band anyway. So Shockwave would have been around the mid 80s, 85-ish is when it got going.
You had started off doing, all original material for the purpose of showcasing. Most of the bands around here were doing 3 sets of covers, playing the whole evening and everything. But your goal was really to kind of, just aim for the record contract and write material. You had a number of people. I know, Bobby Trotta had worked with you a bit in the studio. Tell us a little bit about, that, some of your personnel that you've had.
Yeah, that was the objective. We really did not want to be just another band that went out and played 3, 4, or some clubs even 5 sets. We didn't just want to I didn't want to just keep doing that in band after band. So that was the premise when the band was put together. And the people who joined, that's what they were interested in doing too. Anybody who wanted to play music full time, we would not have been the band for them because we were not playing full time by any stretch.
Sure.
We, like you mentioned, we did showcases. We used to either be an opening act for other bands that we knew, and we'd get up and play a set. And that's what we did most. We even played up at a place in New York, PA. We opened for Mannequin back when they were on the scene. So that's pretty much what we did. Now, after the like you mentioned, we had different people coming and going. It kind of near the tail end of it, I really was just focusing on doing more recording. I was getting further and further away from even doing the showcase things. And And we even did a showcase in New York, and we were on a cable show in New York also. But we were starting to even get away from that, and like I say, with the different people coming and going, it became more of a recording project for me. That's really what it kind of evolved into, and that's when Bob Trotta came into the picture.
Mm-hmm.
He was, he played bass on a couple songs in New York. We were going to New York to record. Yep.
Okay. Well, let's listen to the song that actually made it to the 97 Underground album. This is Bad Attitude by Shockwave. And let's go ahead and roll it. This is Bad Attitude. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to tell you a little twist on this. The original singer is Bob Knight on this song. And that's what's on the album. Later on, when he left the band, a guy by the name of Eric Kaminsky was the singer, and I believe that's the version you have,
right,
with Eric. But other than that, it's the same song, and we never erased Bob's vocals. We just did a separate track with Eric on them, and of course the mix was a little different, but that's the only distinction. So yeah, go ahead. Yep.
Let's go ahead and roll it. This is Bad Attitude by Shockwave.
When I leave this town, 'cause I got a bad attitude.
it was great to hear that song again, Bad Attitude. You had been working and that you were still, actively writing and producing material now. And one person that you've worked with quite a bit over the years was singer Fran Bryant. You had been bandmates with him in Tail Gunner, and you had a song out called Sassy, which we'll be hearing in a few minutes. And you had also written a song that had ended up being part of Shockwave's repertoire called Love Doll. Why don't you tell us a little bit about, working with Fran and these songs that you have, Sassy and Love Doll, and I know there's another one that you did with them too.
We recently did a song together, a joint composition called Living Love Silently, which is it's on my YouTube channel, which is just under my name. It's not a band name. But yeah, I met Fran in college, and and we had been in contact, a couple times off and on. And then I guess it was like the late 70s, 70, 79, I think it was. He had answered an ad. I was looking for a singer, and he answered the ad. So this was the first time we actually played in a band together, although we had known each other for years, for several years before that, since like 73 or 74. So yeah, we wrote the song Love Doll in Tail Gunner, and we played it out. That band was Tail Gunner performed out quite a bit. And that band did a blend of covers and originals, but it did a lot of covers, and we were playing the whole night, in the club circuit. Anyway, he and I wrote Love Doll. The lyrical idea was his, and and the lyrics, yeah, and the lyrics were his, and then I wrote the music. So, giving you credit for the lyrics, Fran.
Yes, exactly.
The Love Doll. But anyway, yeah, that was how that song came about. But we never recorded it in Tail Gunner, but we wrote it and performed it. Then a few years later, when I had put Shockwave together, and Fran was not in that band, he may have moved at that point. I'm not sure. But anyway, I put Shockwave together, and we performed the song in Shockwave, and did record it in New York when as the Shockwave band.
I think Bobby played bass on that one too, because
I think he did. Yeah.
I was friends with him at the time, and he let me hear it. And I think the funny thing about it was, part of it back then was that the quality of Love Dolls back in those days was, if you're in that market, not that there's anything wrong with that, but they look like pool toys, and
they did.
They were just you just take out a stem and blow them up, and there they were. And
get your bicycle pump out and get ready for fun.
Exactly. And it's a good song, and there were some people that were interested in that song, were there not?
Yes, it had. I had a cousin who has since passed, but he was very active in the music business at a totally different level than I was. He was very far up in the area of road management. That's what he did. So he knew a lot of people, and he thought the song had commercial potential. Of all the songs we had, he thought that was the one that did. And he had submitted it through some management channels. I don't even really know, the whole route of it that it took. But it ended up, at the time, Poison had expressed an interest in it. And their management was looking for songs for them, apparently. And it had gotten as far up as it was one of the top 3, and I think it became one of the top 2 songs that they were considering doing.
Wow.
So they liked it that much, and the management liked it that much that different people along the path would listen to it. And I'm sure there were songs they said, "Nah, we're not interested in that," and they would just drop it. But there were a handful of songs that made it up to the upper levels for consideration. That was one of them. So they ended up not selecting it. They did some other song, which I don't know what it is.
Right.
But they ended up not recording it. But it was pretty cool that he got that far up for
Mhm.
consideration.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with
Yeah.
that at all. There's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with that at all. And the fact that, a band of that stature at that time was considering your material says a lot.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
great.
Yes, it did. It reinforced the idea that the song does have commercial value and commercial potential. It
Wonderful.
just needs to get to the right people, and somebody has to believe in it.
Sure,
But
sure.
yeah.
So let's give these songs a spin. The first one we'll listen to is Sassy. That was your Tail Gunner composition that you had written with Fran Bryant. The next one we will go ahead and play the infamous Love Doll by Shockwave.
Rock
Great to hear those songs again. So, Greg, you are still actively writing and recording music right now. You are still releasing material on your YouTube channel, which is Greg Sinners on YouTube, and you have a nice ensemble of people that you've been releasing material with. Tell us about these folks and what you've been doing with them.
Yeah, I'm really in songwriter and producer mode now. I don't perform any of these songs out um, because the obvious limitations of places where you can play original material. But anyway, I write songs, still writing, and depending on the song, I have different vocalists I work with. I have Fran Bryant. We still do stuff. We just did a song together. I wrote a song called "I Go Back for You."
Hmm.
It's kind of maybe a Tom Petty-ish feel. It's
Yeah.
not hard rock,
Hmm.
but it's very very melodic. I think a lot of people will enjoy listening to it. And Fran sang on that, and Jim Fitzpatrick, who's a new addition, he did the harmony vocals on that.
My friend
And
Jim.
yeah, and he also did half of the vocals along with Robin Osick on the song "All the Madmen at Play." And then Robin's husband Jim Osick also did some backing vocals on that song. And they have a duo, Jim Osick and Robin have a musical duo in Hagerstown, and they play a lot of. He plays guitar as well, and they play a lot of places up in that region.
Hmm.
But then, as a side thing, they do vocals on my projects. So I have Robin and Jim Fitzpatrick and Fran. They're the three primary vocalists I use, and then I have Ed Haywood on drums, and he has a new band together in Baltimore, and it's called Temp, TEMP, I believe is the name of his new group. And then I play everything else. I play all the guitars, the bass, the keyboards, any instruments that emulate a sound. Like if it's a flute part, I'm playing it on a keyboard.
Sure, right.
So that's what we do. And how I pick who's going to sing on the song is a combination of a couple factors, which just who I envision singing it and who I think has the most suitable voice for it, because they all have their own style.
Right.
That's the thing. So I'm able to do music of different styles.
Hmm.
I have the Irish song now. It's called Irish Rain.
Hmm.
Robin sang that.
Right.
So
right.
So that they're the people I'm working with now.
Right. Oh, they're sounding great. Let's go ahead and give this one a spin. All the Madmen at Play.
All the madmen at play, who will they bomb today? As we watch the puppets dance, we see who's getting rich from war. All the madmen and their war. Which false flag will they fly? All the madmen and their wars, blinded by their power and waiting for their hour. They'll burn our village down, and then they'll tell us how they are winning hearts and minds. us wars, but they're not doing all the dying. We followed these madmen too many times before, but we're not following again. All these madmen in the war, which false mind will they find? All these madmen in the lies.
That was All the Madmen at Play by Greg Sinners. You can find this song and all of the Shockwave material on Greg Sinners' YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe and hit the like button when you visit. And again, all of his material, old and new, can be found there. I appreciate you tuning in today to the Back of the Rack, the Michael Spedden Show on 97underground.com. Thanks again for listening, and thanks to Greg Sinners. If you, and I mean you, are in a band, past or present, an up-and-coming pure rock band that would like an interview and some airplay, or were in a band years ago that had some recordings you'd like to come on and play and reminisce about, please feel free to reach out to me at backoftherack97@gmail.com. In the Baltimore, D.C. corridor, where I spent my time playing back in the 80s and 90s, we had an absolutely wonderful scene at a time that everyone I speak to who was around back then calls magical. And you really had to be there to experience it. It's kind of hard to describe now, but if you were there, you know. There were lots of great bands and clubs and a wonderful scene. If this describes you, if you were there, hit me up. Let's remember together. You're listening to The Back of the Rack, the Michael Spedden Show on 97underground.com, Baltimore's pure rock worldwide, and we will be right back after these words. Stick around, we got a little more to come. And thanks again for listening to 97 Underground, the Michael Spedden interviews, and we hope you enjoyed today's show. Remember, download the free app from 97underground.com so you can listen to us wherever you go. The Back of the Rack, the Michael Spedden Show, can be heard on 97underground.com every Tuesday from 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Listen anytime, anywhere.
Metal.
Worldwide metal, 24/7. 97 Underground.